just using regular copy paper, but some people have the special lighter weight stuff. I just kind of go like this, do a crease, and then it just tears. And then sometimes they'll get caught a little bit down in here, and I just take a pin and kind of pull it out. Just make sure you take the paper off. We had someone in our quilt guild quilted with the paper still in, and she realized when she was quilting it, it's like, oh, I can just take it out later. And then now she's like, yeah, no, I can't. So I just remember that story, that was funny. But yeah, you can just, see how easy that one pulls out next. If you're having a problem, just, you can spray it with this water, and that will help loosen it up as well. Okay? That was really fast.
So
do we have questions?
4 pieces are going to be identical.
So we'll have 4, so we'll have those 4 like this sewn together to make the block. This is like really the simplest one I could find. There's a lot of intense ones out there.
Some people really love it.
They love it because you can be so precise with it.
Yeah.
You know, you just follow, and you can make things you can't make otherwise, right? I put numbers, I didn't mention the numbers, so start with number 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they should, as you press them, they should kind of all press in the same direction around. Does that make sense?
We'll use our 5th piece of paper, totally cut out, and that's what we're cutting our.
So your 5th piece you can use for a template,
Yeah.
or you can use it for a extra, right? So, and if you need more, I have more. But yeah, I just cut out, that's what I used to cut out, just so you have a template piece. So yeah, on any paper piece, they'll start, you'll do number 1 first, number 2, number 3, number 4. And honestly, this, it doesn't matter which way you actually go. But this way, you're gonna have all your seams going kind of around like that, and then they'll nest together better.
What's the difference between this and English paper piecing?
So English paper piecing we will do next month.
Oh.
So here, this is called paper piecing, and we're actually gonna sew on paper. So the one little stack that I told you to get 5 of, we're gonna be sewing on these. Now this is the first one I did, and I just had different fabrics I did. And then this one just didn't quite work out that way. So I kind of made a pattern with it. So I kind of had to think more when I sewed them together. But after I got it together, if I did blocks like this, then think like all the yellows would come together and would make all of these.
Cute.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I even like, I don't know, it's something different. But you can put whatever colors, however you want, like play with it, see what works. So, okay. Then you're gonna line up another strip, sew 1/4 inch, flip it back, press, continue. Now as I went along, like after my first one, then the next one I did one here and then one here. And then just kind of did a couple on each one as I went, and then pressed, and then added on each side. Does that make sense? While I was sitting at my machine. And then I'd go press them all, and then I'd come back and add more. It just made it like, so you didn't have to press one, and come back, press one. Kind of work on all 4 at once. Does that make sense? And just kind of do it that way.
But you don't want the 4 to be, like, your pieces to be the same.
No, you want them totally random and different.
Okay.
I mean, I guess you could do them the same, but then you kind of have, you might have like, all these would be the same, and then all these coming around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where
Then
you
you
want it
have
kind
to
of-
keep up with the pattern, and it wouldn't
Don't keep
be-
up with the pattern.
And it wouldn't be random.
And
so.
once you get these down, you can switch them and however you like them. So if you don't want like blues all together or something, you can kind of just turn
But
them.
should you do 1 inch on all 4, then a 2 inch on all 4, and then a 1.5
No,
inch?
do them like a 1 inch and then,
So you're not worried about the.
if you'll see, like,
Oh.
I've just done totally random, okay? So this is what it will look like. Just kind of snip it when you're done. And then at the end, you're gonna go back and just trim that square, okay?
Amazing.
And then it will look like this,
Oh my gosh.
okay? So it's like
It's
really
so
just,
cute.
don't worry, just, I mean, do your
That'd
corner seam,
be
but you don't
good
have to worry.
one for your
scraps.
Totally good scrap quilt.
Yeah.
A few years ago, in Extension, they were having the 4-H kids and everyone, or they'd have a booth somewhere and somebody would sit down and do a square for them. You know what I mean? It was something, and then they made all these quilts to give away. So it is totally scraps. And it's something maybe you could just do a
That's
couple with
cute.
every quilt that you had scraps or something, and then eventually have a, anyway, so you'll have 4 of these, okay? you'll just sew them together. And I pressed open the seam, cause it is kinda heavy and thick there, I pressed it open instead of to one side, cause that's a lot. All those double, quadruple fabrics all at once, so I pressed it open. Just match your center, okay?
So cute.
Any questions? Oh, another tip. So see how this was like, this is my first one. Really little here. By the time I have a seam there,
Not gonna be much left.
like, yeah. So just kind of, I guess that's one thing you do have to think about. Think about this end piece. So on this end, I probably should have just had this yellow go all, something go all the way. And sometimes, like when I was doing that one the other day, I cut those last because I'm like, I wasn't sure how wide I needed them or what color I was to then that I needed that color for that square, so I just, but yeah, just, if you're like that far away, just do one color.
That is so fun, that's like
This is a fun, it just works
Legos
out.
or something, putting things, building.
That works up really her part, okay? And then you're just gonna cut some strips up, just random from like 1 to 2 inch wide, just random strips. And so from what I've like already cut out of my fat quarters, if there's like a little end that's, you know, I don't wanna cut big chunks out, but just cut little pieces and
In random width.
in random widths. So if you see, you know, you can see that some are wider and some are
Just totally random?
totally random, just like, don't even think, just. But I kind of thought when I put them together, like, I don't want two the same together, or, you know, I kind of try to get my colors dispersed a little bit. But really, kind of random, okay? So, cut, you need around 30 little strips. So like this strip, I could get 2 widths across, depending. The first time I did it, I cut way too many. So cut some, and then if you need more, cut some more, because I don't want you cutting in a lot to them. Okay, so you just have all these little strips.
And do
You'll
they
just-
need to be on the grain, or does that even matter?
I would put them on the grain, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so cut them with one of the edges, okay? So I would just put them like by my sewing machine, just kind of set them there, scatter them out a little bit, and then choose one. You're gonna line up, so you're gonna do your right side to the mark on this side and the mark on that side. Okay, so this edge is lined up on those 2 marks. And then sew 1/4 inch. Okay, after you sew 1/4 inch, you're gonna press it back towards this corner. Does that make sense? Okay.
See
that? Okay.
Yeah, the white, the background.
This is the background, 4 6.5 inch squares. Then you're gonna go and measure down 1 inch from this corner and 1 inch from this corner and mark it. And then the opposite corner as well. Can you see? I don't know if you can see that. Okay? So opposite color.
So you're, the white piece right there?
And so each block has a base of fabric that you sew onto, okay?
And how come
So
is
it's like a
that?
foundation, so we
Yeah.
call it, I mean, I
Not
guess you could just
interfacing.
sew
Just
strips
could
and do it, but it kind of holds them straight.
So that is actually kind of heavier,
It is,
double.
so, yeah, and I can pass that around and you can see.